Okay, so this discussion, the first question was, why is someone in Africa more likely to have HIV or AIDS than a person in the US? And how are we affected by the geographic region we're born in? So someone's more likely to have in Africa to have HIV and AIDS in the US. I think partially because of education. There's a lot more education on HIV and AIDS and just overall STD prevention in the US. There's more resources in the US as well. What the TED Talk by Ulster, Flip Your Thinking on AIDS in Africa, she stated that the life expectancy of someone in certain regions of Africa is a lot lower than other regions and than the United States. So the risk versus the benefits for preventing the HIV or AIDS exposure is a lot different when, if you're 30 years old and your life expectancy is only going to be to 45, 50, and you participate in risky behavior that could put you at a risk for having HIV that is going to kill you in 10 years. A lot of it's like, well, what does it matter? I'm going to die anyway. So I think the incentive to keep their health and to remain healthy is a lot different than a person in the U.S. The geographic region, again in Oster's TED Talk, she mentioned that places that are high for economics and a lot of trading and a lot of people, they have the higher rates of the HIV. There's more people there, more people traveling, it spreads. And then she also mentioned the regions in Africa where there's a lot of malaria prevention. They're doing the mosquito nets, the other medication prevention. They are already taking steps to protect their health and their welfare and their lives. So it makes sense that they're not going to participate in other risky behavior that will, make them at a risk of dying earlier. So I think a lot of it comes down to education, the resources, medication that they have available, and, placing value on their health. Social class and socioeconomic status affect the likelihood of contracting HIV. If you're in a higher social class, higher socioeconomic status, you're going to have better resources to prevent getting the illness. You'll be able to have the resources to have a greater lifespan. So I think that plays a big role in it, and you're also more likely to have a better education. You have a high life expectancy. You're going to not participate in risky behavior that will lower your life expectancy. So there's a program, AVERT, A-V-E-R-T, avert.org. They are a charity that is working towards education on HIV and AIDS prevention, and also they have programs and interventions in place all over the world to help prevent HIV and AIDS. So they use the behavioral prevention, which is just changing your behavior, the ABCs, that was again mentioned in that TED Talk. They're also using biomedical and structural interventions. So the behavioral is, being faithful, having one sexual partner. Can't remember what the ABCs are at the minute. Just changing your behavior, not doing risky behavior. The biomedical interventions, it's more like promoting male circumcision to reduce the risk of carrying an infection and passing it along to somebody. Using condoms, safe sex, making it more available for condom use to be available. And then the structural interventions they're the trickier part. It's getting laws in place to protect the rights of people with HIV, and then addressing gender, economical, and social inequality to also help decrease the spread and the stigma of HIV. So they seem very successful. They've got programs all over the world. They focus on more of the holistic approach, not just the behavioral, but, if you can't do the behavioral, then the biomedical, having prevention. So That's it.